Hey boyos, daily check-in with John V. October 22nd, 2024. Haven't done one of these in a few days, so I figured it was time. Um, Not much new to talk about. I haven't been really up to much at all. I do my weigh in for the fourth month of my diet tomorrow. I'm hoping to be down like 8 pounds. I'm not sure though because I've really slacked this past month. And that's nothing to worry about. People slack on their diet sometimes, but if the weight loss isn't real tomorrow, like if there's no significant difference between tomorrow and last month, then I'm gonna put the pedal down and try harder to lose weight, right? Diet harder and start lifting again. I'm not too worried about the lifting right now. I haven't lifted in like 3 weeks, but whatever. I'm expecting to have lost some strength because I've been eating like shit. Eating potato chips and protein bars and bacon and bread and, lots of garbage food, not getting much fruits and vegetables at all. And it's going to catch up with me. Like, I do try to get a dose of vitamin C every day, like a glass of orange juice or something, which is not ideal because it's sugar, right? But, I'm slacking a bit, but I'll get back on track. Um, but yeah, I haven't went to arm wrestling in like 3 weeks because a buddy that I'm supposed to be traveling with, he hasn't been going either because he bruised his arm up pretty good at Worlds. So I think he got first at Worlds. I'm not sure, but that's all I really got to say about arm wrestling and weight loss and lifting. Really, couple other things. Temu. A few things to say about that. I've been scamming the company real good. I have 5 accounts. I actually have 6 accounts, but two of the accounts I haven't used for anything. Um, the fifth account is literally just farmland and fishland, just to accumulate stuff on there. But if the opportunity arises, I will make orders on that fifth account. The other 4 accounts I have made orders on, and on 2 of my main accounts, I asked for a refund on an entire order on each account, and they gave it to me. The automated customer service. One was $83 for an order. The other one was like 75, and no questions asked. They gave me an instant refund, and I was like, "Wow, that's pretty fucking sweet." And I'm learning the ins and outs of scamming the company, like hassling the automated customer service every day about every single order that is in the mail. The automated customer service will either just give you a generic reply about it, where it is and stuff, or will give you a 20% off coupon, or there's a couple times the automated customer service actually gave me a $5 credit on my account. So I hassle the automated customer service every day about my orders, and yeah, and I sent back a humongous box full of stuff, over $300 worth of stuff back because the order I got the other day, it was like 12 storage boxes and like 10 of them were crushed. It looks like somebody put them on the floor and stomped on them, literally. So they all went back along with a bunch of other shit that didn't need. So over $300 worth of stuff going back to them, which is great. So that'll be all credit on my account, and I'll blow through that because of that order I got a refund on for $83. It went on to my total, which brought my total on my account up to like 140 bucks or something like that, 140, 150 bucks. So I went on and I seen that they had the storage cases on sale for 12 bucks, like 12.50 or something. So I bought 12 of them, plus two packs of Liliana sleeves, 2 different styles. They were on for like 6 something, so I was like, sweet, grab those up because like 6 something for a pack of card sleeves with art is a good buy. Like even on eBay, you don't find card sleeves for under like 20 bucks. 20 bucks is what you're going to pay or more. And the majority of card sleeves on eBay are like 25 bucks or more. So, and if you go to the game store to buy card sleeves with art, it's going to cost you a fucking fortune. Probably like 15, 20 bucks for a set of card sleeves, right? So shopping online is the way to go with Temu. Somebody beating on my window. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Just being an annoying little bastard. One of the kids probably. But anyway, but yeah, Temu was awesome. And I do. I have 5 accounts with the Fishland Farmland games going, so I'm hoping to win some free stuff from those. It's gonna take a matter of months probably before I finish those games, but free stuff is free stuff, boyos, right? And obviously, I make orders on some of those accounts. It gives me a whole bunch of extra resources for the game, right? To get me to completing the game and getting my free items quicker. But I'm not banking too much on the games, the Fishland and Farmland games, because the time invested, it's not really worth it. But I don't have anything better to do with my time, so why not, right? But there's a few other items I seen on Temu that's on sale for the early Black Friday sale that I'd like to have, but it ain't gonna happen. And I've been very, very, very cautious about making more orders, just because I see the signs of addiction, and I'm showing signs of addiction with shopping on Temu, so I'm being very careful of what I spend, right? Because there's a $90 credit back promotion where you spend a certain amount of money, and it accelerates the amount of coins you have, and when you reach a certain amount of coins, you qualify for a free $90 credit. And the promotion, I estimated I would have had to spend like $140, get $90 back of store credit. And I was like, sweet, I'll do this. And I fucked the order up. So I had to go back through and repick the items. By that time, the original offer expired, and it changed to I had to spend $200 to get a $90 credit. I seen that, I was like, nah, that's a little bit too much, right? I'm not going to spend 200 just to get 90 back. It's not worth it, because what they do with that promotion is you have to scroll through a never-ending page of items, and most of the items have been marked up from their original price. So you can literally find an item 28 bucks, scroll down for 3 minutes and find the same item again, same picture, everything for like $5 cheaper. So that's why it's so time consuming. It took me 40 minutes to get a cart full of stuff that I wanted, and by that time the offer expired. So, but it's okay because those offers come back because the company is still young, so they're still trying to reel in customers, right? So they're still going to have really good offers and shit like that. So those special promotions like that $90 credit will come back for me because I have 5 accounts, so it's bound to come back. And there's one account there, my second main account. I'm taking advantage of the credit back promotion, a different credit back promotion. You spend like 70 bucks, you get $55 back, and it's like, wow, that's really good value, because then you have to claim the credit over a period of 7 days, and you can have two of them on the go at once that you're claiming credit for, and once one's done, the offer comes back. So then you get 70 bucks more worth of stuff and get $55 credit back, and you just keep using the credit you got from the previous two orders, to keep cycling through the promotion. You might have to spend like 15, 20 bucks to get $70 worth of stuff, but it's still worth it, right? So yeah, I'm taking advantage of the company big time, but I don't care. You know, they that stuff practically takes nickels and dimes to produce. And I've told people that, and they say bullshit like it costs more than that just for the raw supplies, and I'm like, no, it fucking don't. When people kill a cow, they're doing it for their meat. Their fucking hide is just gonna get thrown out anyway. They make leather out of it, right? And when you have millions of cow fucking hides, it it's not worth much. It's not worth much at all. And to the people that are at those companies with the fucking cowhide, they can probably take fucking cowhide that's been dried and turned into leather home for free. It's not a scarce commodity in that area or for that company, right? You know, when I worked for certain companies, the stuff that we had was not a scarce commodity. You know, for me, cigarettes, the price I get cigarettes for is an absolute steal, and I have literally 20 cartons of cigarettes in my dresser, and they are not a scarce commodity for me anymore. You know, when I had no income and I wasn't aware of shopping online for cigarettes, cigarettes were a scarce commodity for me. Having actual store brand cigarettes was a scarce commodity. You know, it was a dream to have a fucking pack of smokes that was worth like 20 bucks, you know, to give me smokes for half a day. It was a fucking dream, right? And now cigarettes for me are no longer a scarce commodity. Like a carton of cigarettes, it literally costs them nickels and dimes to produce a carton of cigarettes. Seriously. Like, to produce a carton of cigarettes, it probably costs the company like 25 or 50 cents to produce a carton of cigarettes. That's it. You know, but shit is so taxed that it's so marked up by taxes that the taxes just drive the price up, right? But I've known people that were store managers, managers for stores, and they would say stupidest shit like, you know, about how the raw materials to produce these items like that I'm getting from Temu, you know, was more than what I was stating, and I'm like, no, it ain't fucking not. It's like just because you're a store manager doesn't mean you know shit about like fucking anything how it's produced. You know, you're just a store manager, right? You're just doing paperwork and you know signing off people's paychecks and shit. Like you don't know anything. Like you know, because like I I grew up on a farm, right? And when you have it's summertime and you have 100 chickens, eggs are not a scarce commodity, right? Eggs are basically worthless. You would literally have eggs rotting in your fridge because you had so many. Like, and to keep chickens during the summer costs nothing. It literally costs almost nothing because you just let them roam free of the property, and they literally um, forage for bugs and plant life and stuff like that, and that's all they need to sustain themselves in the warm months. Now in the wintertime, it still doesn't take a lot to sustain chickens, right? Um, if you buy feed from a feed store, that's just too expensive because it's been marked up. It's been marked up so much, taxes and shit, because they know people are fools enough to buy chicken feed, right? What you do, you buy shit like marked down bread from the store, like $1 a loaf, and you feed the fucking chickens a loaf of bread, you know, and that's $1 to sustain the 100, like, well, not 100 chickens for a loaf of bread, but a loaf of bread would sustain quite a few chickens for a day, probably like 30, I would say 25, 30. So, like, if you keep 25 chickens over the winter and feed them a loaf of bread every day, right? For a buck, you know, 60 bucks carries them through the cold months, and 60 bucks to sustain 22 dozen chickens is, you know, it's nothing. And 2 dozen chickens will keep you in eggs, no problem. 2 dozen chickens will give you like at least a dozen eggs a day. And most, if you're a bodybuilder and you want cheap protein, you can have a dozen eggs every day at the cost of like $60 a year, right? And eggs are not a scarce commodity, but the shit's taxed so bad. And the thing is, the companies can get away with it because in the store, you know, a dozen eggs is what, like $6 or $5 or something ridiculous like that. And it does not cost that to fucking, you know, keep chickens. I've had I've heard people complain about having chickens and how expensive it is, and you know they don't pay for themselves. And it's like, well, if you're buying chicken feed from the store, that's why, right? You know, you can buy fucking Mr. Noodles. Buy Mr. Noodles for 25 cents a package at the store and cook them up and feed them to the fucking chickens, right? You know, you don't have to buy chicken feed. You can buy fucking potatoes. Eh, eh, You can buy 50 pounds of potatoes for like $20. And that's like stretching it because I've seen 50-pound bags of potatoes for a lot cheaper than $20. And you can literally just boil a pot of potatoes every day and feed them to the fucking 2 dozen chickens. A pot of potatoes would feed a dozen chickens for a full fucking day, right? And what's superior about like corn or barley or oats or something like that you feed to chickens? There's nothing superior about that. Buy fucking oatmeal for Christ's sake. Buy bulk oatmeal, cook it, and then feed it to your chickens. Let it cool off. Feed it to the fucking chickens, and the chickens will eat it, and it's good, healthy food for them, right? Buying chicken food from the store is just a ripoff. Because like literally, you can buy what, like 2 pounds of oatmeal for a couple bucks, and 2 pounds of oatmeal will feed 2 dozen chickens probably for a week, right? And $2 to sustain 2 dozen chickens for a week is nothing, right? You know, when you grow, you know, a lot of city people, they don't understand these things because they've never seen how things work when it comes to like livestock, and it doesn't cost a lot to sustain an animal, right? It doesn't cost a lot at all. If you're able to do the maintenance of the animals yourself, it costs almost nothing, right? Like if you have a horse, it doesn't cost anything to fucking feed a horse through the winter. A small horse like a pony, um, you know, if you have connections and you can get hay for a relatively decent price, it doesn't cost a lot, right? But the thing about horses is they don't lay eggs and you don't eat them. You have to rely on reproducing and selling the offspring, right? And then you could probably make money off of it, right? But my parents raised horses too, and they made lots of money off of it. They made tons of money off of it because dad had connections with people of getting like hay and borrowing people's pasture land for his horses because we had like 40 horses. And I tell you, livestock, if you know what you're doing, livestock takes nothing to maintain, to feed. And it's the food cost that's the biggest thing, and that's not much. Like I was saying with chickens, you buy fucking oatmeal, cook them oatmeal every day. Bread, buy reduced bread that's on clearance, feed that to them. Bagels, fucking potatoes, for Christ's sake. And when you go to the store, you don't buy the potatoes that are $10 for 5 pounds. You don't do that. Like rich people do that. You want to get potatoes, you buy from a farmer or something that's selling them like 50-pound bags for like $20, right? Or even like $10, $15 for a 50-pound bag of potatoes. And that will last chickens fucking forever, right? And if you keep potatoes in a cool basement, they will keep for couple of months probably. Um, but you keep potatoes in a warm environment, they will start sprouting and going moldy within a few weeks, right? But boy, it was like ripping off Timu. It's nothing because I don't know. Maybe they're paying more for the product than it's worth, but to produce this product, it doesn't cost much. Like one of these storage boxes I get, one of these fucking leather storage boxes with the velvety lining inside, it probably costs almost nothing to produce one of those, like 25 cents, 50 cents maybe. That's it. And I spend like $12 for one, and I rip the company off and get tons of them for free. But some I spend money on, and they're not losing money, right? What they're losing money on is like fucking customers doing returns on unlimited amount of products, and that costs the company shipping fees, right? And that's what's killing the company, the shipping fees of free returns for the customer, unlimited free returns. That's what's killing the company. It's not really killing the company because whoever owns the company really knows what they're doing. But when they start cracking down on the free returns and free shipping and stuff like that, they'll go from losing money to making money. It's that simple. Um, I'm 40 years old. You know, when you've been around for a little while, you start to see the truth, and most shit doesn't cost much to produce, and it's just taxed so heavily that makes it so expensive. Like these Indian cigarettes, you can buy them dirt cheap off a reservation. Like somebody on a forum was saying, like the Misk, saying that they had a buddy. They'd literally go to a vending machine on the res and fill up a fucking garbage bag full of cigarettes for like 20 bucks or something. And it's like, yeah, but yet you go to the store, you spend 20 bucks and you get a handful of cigarettes, right? Because the government can get away with charging those prices because people will pay it, right? But I've went on about Timu and the cost of producing items enough. I think. Not too sure what else to go on about. I haven't been feeling great. My breathing has been better. Like I haven't used asthma medication for like a few days. Um, I've been trying to go without it because I start relying on it too heavily. Um, and as you see back there, the boost sitting on the dresser, they gave me free boost with my hepatitis C treatment because I do have hepatitis C. It's not a big deal. Um, with the medication, the treatment, it's a 98% cure rate. And if the treatment doesn't cure it, then they literally just do another 8 week cycle of treatment. Um, but they find that the people that don't get cured, usually it's because they're negligent with their treatment and they'll go a matter of days without taking the medication. And you can't do that, right? If you got an infection, you got to take your antibiotics or you don't recover from the infection, right? It's the same thing. Because hepatitis C, it's an infection of the liver. You can live with hepatitis C for like 40 years before you start having problems. And what it does over time, it causes cirrhosis of the liver, which is liver damage, and can be a contributing factor to your death in old age, right? And you may not live as long as you should have because of hepatitis C if it's untreated. But a lot of people are ignorant, and people freak out because they think I have some crippling disease and I'm contagious, which I am contagious, but you know, it's not that easy to pass on unless I'm going around ass fucking everybody. They're not going to catch it probably. Um, but I know certain people in my personal life, and they found out I had it, they treated it like it was AIDS. They thought it was some life changing event for the worst, and like I didn't give a fuck. Like I was made aware of what it was and what I had to expect from it, and it's like, well, it's nothing. You know, I've lived with health problems, and hepatitis C is virtually invisible. It affects me in almost no way that is noticeable, right? Whereas I have other health problems that are noticeable every day that affect my daily life, right? Hepatitis C is nothing, right? And the treatment's covered by my health, my medical plan through welfare. So it should only be $5 for the treatment, right? But they haven't charged me yet at the pharmacy. They're letting me have the treatment because they're not sure what's going on with the payment. But we'll see. I'm getting the treatment. I'm getting free boost, so I'm happy. Because you got to take it with some kind of food supplement. So boost it is, and I like boost. Cuts down on my food costs. But boyos, we covered arm wrestling and lifting and dieting and Tamu and a little bit of me ranting about the cost of products in daily life. Um, Went on about hepatitis C as well. Um, Still got plans to move away to the city next year, and plans should go through fine. Um, and then once I'm in the city, I can look at picking up extra work and extra money through odd jobs and stuff like that. Because around here, I don't have many options because I'm limited to my immediate area for odd jobs, and the only person that messaged me about it, they never got back to me again about it. They said they'd get back to me the following day, and they never did. So fuck them, just wasting my time. But boys, I've rambled on for 25 minutes, so I'll cut the video off there, and I'll see you on the misc.